Introducing Passport Bros, your ultimate travel companion. Download the app for free and embark on a journey where your adventures not only become unforgettable memories, but also opportunities to earn. With Passport Bros, your travel content is more than just photos and videos. It's your ticket to a fully monetizable network of like-minded adventurers. Imagine making money from your travel stories. Post videos, share your experiences, and let the world be a part of your journey. But that's not all. Connect with travelers from around the globe, join co-ed groups, and make lasting friendships, perhaps even with foreign women who share your passion for exploration. And here's the best part. Store your earnings securely in your Passport Bros wallet. No hassle, no worries. Just seamless transactions wherever your travels take you. Looking for the best local experiences? Passport Bros has got you covered. Get personalized recommendations for tour guides, rentals, and the hottest clubs in town. Did we mention the app is absolutely free to download? That's right. Your passport to a world of adventure is just a click away. And here's the cherry on top. With Passport Bros, you can make money while exploring new places. Turn your passion for travel into a source of income, right from your mobile device. So what are you waiting for? Download Passport Bros now, share your journey, connect with fellow explorers, and let the adventure begin.
Download now on the App Store and Google Play.
All right. And family, we are live. Welcome to another show. It is your man BMT, and we got a great show for you guys this evening. I know most of you guys on the East Coast in the States. It is daytime here in Thailand, and we got a good topic. We're going to be breaking down a video. This is kind of like more of a story on, I want to say this is kind of like more of an English speaking, UK Asian based, not necessarily a channel, but what I want to say, news kind of oriented YouTube channel, basically that did a breakdown on the Passport Bros. And I know half the time, we're getting kind of bashed by the Western media, but I want to show you guys something a little different, right? I know a lot of guys are focused on, Colombia and all the pieces coming out about the Passport Bros in Colombia. But I'm going to say this all the time, that Passport Bros is worldwide. All right, we got guys all over the world. And for the most part, from what I've seen by, let's just say, the Eastern media cycle, Africa, well, mostly Asia, like Philippines and, Thailand, stuff like that, is actually a positive spin on the Passport Bros. Okay. So we're going to break down this video right here. I'm going to play it in a second after I give everybody, my shout outs. All right. This story right here. You can see the whole entire video. I'm not gonna play the whole video. It's a short video. I'm not gonna play the whole one, but I'm gonna put the link. Make sure I put the link in the comments and the description if you want to see the entire video. Let me put that up real quick before we get to it. The title of this video is "I Hang Out with Passport Bros: How This Korean American Man Found Love in Thailand." That's right, guys. It's so funny because when I first arrived to Thailand, not the very first time, but the first time back around when I arrived to Thailand, it was some brothers from, I want to say, Somalia. Was it Somalia or Ethiopia? One of those countries. Forgive me, because he's probably watching the show. He watches the channel. And he was telling me about the women over there. And he was giving me his kind of like his rundowns about, feminism. And they want to run the show. And I'm just like, wow, really? Even in East Africa? He was like, yeah, man, I come to Thailand to, date and looking for a wife and everything. So this phenomenon called the Passport Bros is just not, American guys. It's guys all over the world that pretty much are trying to escape the modernization of, in some cases, the women. It's other reasons why guys become Passport Bros, like, leveraging your American dollar as well, more economic freedom that you have, more time that you have. You want to leave the rat race and you want to leave, all the social ills of the West. But this is going around the whole world, man. This is Passport Bros. All right. It's probably the biggest phenomenon that we have seen in the last decade. And it was oriented and started by the brothers, okay, by us. in this small little unique little community we had on YouTube, and it has expanded worldwide, even to other countries outside of the West. You have a lot of, Asians in those Northern Asian countries that are coming to Southeast Asia, looking for traditional women. You got guys in Europe, you got guys in America, all trying to escape these so-called first world countries where bananas and eggs are $10 a pound and shit, to go to these so-called, and that's a whole nother conversation for another day, on third world countries, right? Why they was deemed third world countries, because they did not participate in World War II. That's a whole nother conversation for another day. Before I get to the video, let me give everybody a shout out, man. We in here heavy already. I want to give a shout out. Hold on, let me start at the very beginning. Shout out to my man Ozzy, always tapping in. We got the invasion report. If I fart, what you gonna do about it and why? Okay. All right. Iman Perry in the building. It said, what up, BMT? What's good? What's good? I got my man always showing love, man. Shout out to my man Jay Clyde in the building. This is a good topic for you because we talk about Colombia all the time, right? And like I said before, I understand that, Colombia is a that's a big location, big destination for a lot of guys. It's not too far from the States. And people think that all the news and concerns of Passport Bros coming in Colombia is just like all the, it encompasses the whole ideology or movement. I don't like to call it a movement, but it's been being called a movement over and over again. So I would refer to it somewhat as a movement. But I always say it's an ideology. A lot of the original Passport Bros calls it an ideology. We don't have a charter. We don't have necessarily members. We do have guys on the app. We do have a community. But I think it's better for us to just have it as an ideology more so in the movement, because when you have a movement, you get a lot of BS that comes along with the so-called, terminology of a movement, especially when it's heterosexual, male, black oriented. Okay. Shout out my man Ronan Travels in the building. Shout out to you, Ronan. What's good? What's good? My contrarian brother. All right. What up, Passport Blueprint? You know what, Passport Blueprint? You might gotta tap in, bro, because I want to make sure this is who I think it is. If you want to hit me on the email, or if I drop a link, you want to tap in just for a quick second. I want to make sure I know if this is who I think it is. I think I know who this is, bro. But forgive me. All right, I want to give a shout out to At Your Wife's House All Day. He says, good morning, BMT chat and Passport Bro app gang. Thailand can't be beat. One visit here will show a man where he stands in life difference between tourists and residents. That's very true. It's funny. One of my guys just returned to Thailand. He just returned to Thailand, and he had went to Peru, Brazil, Dominican Republic. What else did he go to? I think he went some other countries too, because he was living in Thailand for like almost 3 years, and he traveled around. And the first thing he said was, man, I'm so happy to be back. He said, bro, Thailand can't be beat. Thailand cannot be beat, And like I said before, it really depends on what you're looking for. And because I understand that Thailand is very, very far away. It's a time difference. It's not perfect for everybody. You got guys who work online and working the night shift. That could be difficult. I've seen it. I've seen guys do it and be successful at it, but I also seen guys be like, no, I can't do the night shift thing on the computer. I keep falling asleep. I've partied with guys to 8, 9 p.m. and they be like, hey, I gotta go. I gotta go to work. So, it really depends on what's comfortable for you. Now, for my guys that are retired military, guys living off of pensions and everything, yeah, Thailand is definitely one of the best places to be, hands down. All right. All right. After White's House All Day says Thailand, without a doubt, is the best option for men in 2025 and on. Pattaya got men looking at their life and asking themselves, did I do enough in life to make a permanent life abroad in a whole 100%? All right. Shout out to my man out at Your Wife's House All Day. We got the super chats already coming. I'm going to hit them up in a second. Ozzy says, yeah, I heard of Somalian dudes going to Morocco to find a wife. Yeah, I'm surprised about that. I'm really surprised about that, family. I just assumed that East Africa was a little bit more traditional. I think it is for the most part, like places like Kenya and everything. But you'll be surprised, man. You'll be surprised, even by this Asian passport, bro. We're gonna hear what he has to say. And like I said before, the media cycle out here is always a positive spin on the Passport Bros. All right, it's always kind of positive. They kind of just say, "Hey, these guys are out here. You know, they living their lives. You know, they decide to leave their home countries and you know share their resources here. That's fine. They want to date here for more traditional women. That's fine. It's like what they do out here is more responsible journalism. They try to get the whole story and instead of trying to make it all one-sided and demonizing the guys off rip, but without trying to figure out, okay, what are you guys really here for? And you will see it in this video. You will see it in this video that I'm about to play in a moment. All right. All right, shout out to 313_Nate Travel. Man, Nate right there. He said, much love to you, my bro, and big support to the BMT movement. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. All right. Oh, hey, Mark Ray. Mark Ray, man. That might be a stream for the app. Mark Ray says, seems like the BAW is taking over Thailand. Listen, man. Listen. Wherever we go, they shall follow. You better believe that. You better believe that, bro. You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I think whatever that Black American men do, I'm not being biased. I'm just keeping it from my perspective, from what I see. It's like whatever we do, you know, we are like the social trend setters. I mean, fashion gurus. We just, whatever we do, man, if we start wearing our hat backwards, sideways with a gold cap on it, I guarantee everybody else will too. You know, if we start going certain places and put them in on social media and online, people will follow. All right. You could do a social experiment one day. I want you to do a social experiment one day, right? I want you to walk around and just sit down somewhere. Like, make sure the place is empty. You know, make sure the place is empty and just sit down there for a while and watch how people just start looking to see what you eat, looking to see what you buying, looking to see what you're doing. You know, I'm telling you, man, you know, we got to do a social experiment on this, real talk. But yeah, we're going to talk about that. Maybe on the stream, because I got a lot to say about that. I do. El Chico Dusty says, man, hell nah, Thailand's the best place for retirees and old dudes who are divorced or ex-military. Okay, I'm not sure if you agreeing or disagreeing, El Chico Dusty. All right, I see the Teen Wolf in the background, though. Okay, in the thumbnail. What up, Life of Unc Josh? Shout out to you, man. You my man up there in up in Colombia. You did some content with my man MAB, Marcus A. Brown. That's my guy. So shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. And let me address this before I get to the super chats, man. You got guys out here currently, and I'm not going to say their names because I don't want to give no guys no shout outs, that are out here trying to do like shock jock content, IRL streaming. Let me just warn you, you know, and maybe just to get along to some of the guys who come to Thailand or other countries and try to do the whole, you know, I'm not even going to say it's I am speed, but you know, the little Johnny Somali stuff out here. This is the last place you want to do that. All right. I saw a clip of luckily he took the stream down, but I did see a clip of a brother out here that was, you know, kind of acting up on one of the soys, you know, screaming out, acting all loud, talking about he'll shoot this bitch up and all this alleyway shit. This is the last place you want to do that. I'm not sure how he didn't get locked up. You know, a lot of times they are used to tourists getting a little too rowdy, a little too drunk. And I know you might see other tourists and other guys, you know, kind of wilding out. But I'm just letting you know that, hey, Bangkok jail is no joke. They don't take disrespect lightly. They don't take, you know, acting up lightly out here. Just keep that in mind because they will hide you behind the jail, and Trump is not getting your black ass out. Okay? So I just want to put that out there real quick because I am seeing, you know, some little jankiness out here with the guys trying to stream and get their channel busting and all that. That's not the move, man. Just do good content. All right? It's your channel. You do what you want. But I'm just kind of pre-warning you for guys that think they're going to just do the Johnny Somali shit out here and think channel's just going to blow. It's not going to work. All right? But shout out to my man, Life of Uncle John, man. Shout out to you. The naughty American expat in the building. I believe you out there in King, aren't you? Shout out to you, man. All right, let me get this to this super chat real quick. The $20 super chat says, "What up, BMT? I just found out that I'm eligible for retirement next month. I'm seriously weighing my options, and I got my eye on Thailand as a home base. I'm looking for advice before I make my move." Yeah, man. You know, if you want to purchase the consultations from my man Richie Mack, you know, Richie Mack does a lot of consultations. He can give you some game on that. I know they just switched up the retirement visa. I forgot what stipulations it is now. They always kind of switching up these visas out here in Thailand. That's probably the most complicated part about living out here. You're seeing, you know, these changes because it's not like, well, I would say it's not like America, where things, you know, change over time and policies. And it's like a process. But now that Trump is in office, you see he'll do executive order in 5 minutes flat. So, you know, things is just make sure you do your research as much as possible. Like I said, my man Richie Mack does consultations out here, man. You might want to link up with him, and he can give you all the information that you need on your move to Thailand. I'm not sure if you're trying to purchase property out here, trying to live long term out here. I'm not sure how old you are. I know a lot of that. There's a lot of stipulations to the visas. All right. So shout out to my man Kevin Johnson for the global push between our super chat. He's also a member. Shout out to you. All right. All right. El Chico Dusty says, hold on, let me go back to Irvin real quick. Shout out to my man Irvin says, glad to see you got a lot of videos this year, bro. Good meeting you a few weeks ago back over in Thailand. Yeah, shout out to you, Irvin. Let me see what that picture is. Okay, shout out to you, man. Shout out to you, bro. Chico Dusty says, hardly any attractive women. All the attractive ones are working girls with STDs. Ladyboy culture is huge. Tinder full of ladyboys. Who is the best? I'd rather risk my life in Colombia. Are you kidding me? All right, El Chico Dusty. All right. You know, I like the counterpoint, man. Shout out to J Class as done time zone. I got my man Kirby Films in the building. We're gonna get to the video in a second, man. Let me catch up on these super chats real quick. Says, what up, BMT? What's good? What's good, man? Hey, we need to really link up. We need to really link up, man, because we gotta put out some positive content in this next documentary about the Passport Bros. All right, El Chico says Thailand got safety and good food. Yes, it does. That's it. Hot as hell all the time. That's not true. Time zone difference is crazy from the U.S. I mentioned that earlier in the stream. Over tourism, too many other nations, they're acting like they own the place. That is true. El Chico, you speak some truths in your assessments. I'm not gonna lie to you, all right? Like I said, Thailand's not for everybody. But on that last point, that's very true. That is, man, the entitlement from some of these other countries, and I see them be disrespecting ties and shit. You're right. It's crazy out here. All right. Chico going in, right? T-Mac with $10 super chat says, no problem with Passport Bros going to Thailand at all. Whatever makes people happy in life. Yeah, we just trying to see if it's the best destination right now in 2025. All right. Like I said, it's not for everybody. It's very far. It's a 12-hour difference. So if you're working online, that could be a major problem if you're working on East Coast time. So yeah, you got your pluses and your minuses out here, but it is relatively safe in comparisons to other places that a lot of Passport Bros like to go to. All right. I got my man Flight Madness in the building with 200 type bot. He says Thailand is almost certainly top 5 for Passport Bros, but you got to make sure you find sustainable overseas income. Some work tech remotely. I teach English online remotely, and it is great. And I think you probably teach English during the day, right, Danny? If I'm not mistaken, because I know we did some streams about it, but I think your schedule is pretty good because you're on the Eastern schedule or Asia time schedule, if I'm not mistaken. Let me know. All right, shout out my man East Coast Kev in a bit. A random question: what are your thoughts on the decline of men going to clubs in the West? I think it's a great thing, personally. You know what's funny, man? I was going to do a reaction video. It was a party in Atlanta. I think it's like a day party. They got all types of concept parties now, 80s parties, 90s parties. What was this one? This was like a grown-up mixer during the day party. And I saw literally about maybe 40, 50 women and maybe 3 to 4 men. I saw about 10, 12 bull dykes in the video, but there were literally no men. There were literally no men at this event. I forgot what the concept for the event was. But literally, you know, guys, the kind of guys are opting out, where they passport bros or not. I just think they just say, I think men are more understanding of what they see in the future for America. And they might be either preparing, stacking their bread, or just understanding that it's nothing out there in them streets for the most part. All right, but let me finish the super chat. What are your thoughts on the decline of men going to clubs in the West and spending money on women? They're starting to complain. Man, we all know the game on that. We all know the game on that, man. You know, women love to be dating infinitely. Like men kind of date the kind of as an end game. Women date for leisure and fun. They don't mind running up a tab on you and running to Pookie House afterwards. So I think a lot of guys have kind of got the memo on that, honestly speaking, brothers. I really do. All right, so let's go ahead and get to the video at hand. This is a video by CNA Insider called "The First Day I Came Here." Oh, hold on. I hang with a passport, bro. How this Korean American found love in Thailand. So let's see what this guy has to say. All right, let me put the fair use up real quick. All right. We got a lot of people in the room today. Okay.
Like the first day I came here, 1 hour of swiping, I already had like 100 matches. And that never happens in the United States. Women in the West are generally a bit more masculinized. In Asia, if a woman loves her man and trusts her man, she will submit to his decision.
So sometimes, guys, I think that, you know, we assume, you know, as you know, most of us are brothers in this chat. We assume that like our women are the only women that are having like so much issues and dating issues in the States, but it seems like it's every ethnicity that's going to Korean Americans, Asian Americans. It seems like it's kind of white Americans. It just seems like it's kind of like just the West in general. All right.
Here in Thailand, there is an emerging social phenomenon. It's called Passportbros. We are talking about men who have decided to stop dating Western women because they don't share the same values. So they travel abroad in search for relationships with foreign women who they think are more traditional, more feminine, and more caring. And Thailand is one of the top destinations for Passportbros, and I'm going to spend a day with one of them here in Bangkok. Let's meet him.
See how positive she is. All right. There's no demonizing spin. She's not hitting her forehead like a guy on Vice. You know, they're not demonizing it before they even get started in the video. As you see in the Vice video, you know, from the little beginning clips, they had already did the shock jock demonization of passport bros, saying crazy things to guys that not even really passport bros, but just random people that they, you know, speaking on certain things they don't have no idea about. All right. This was already just, okay, this is the passport bros. A lot of them come to Thailand. Let's see what's going on.
Paulie is a 28-year-old digital nomad from the United States. He relocated to Thailand 4 years ago.
So how's your workout?
That's good.
Yeah, what did you do?
Just a little bit
push-ups?
of, a little upper body.
Do you know a lot of Thai slangs and how to use them?
Yeah, I've been learning a lot recently. Dung.
Huh?
Dung.
Dung.
It means like stunning, like looks so good, you know? Shit, actually, let me see for you.
You're cheating. So what do you have there on your phone? Is it like...
Yeah, it's very endearing when like a foreigner can actually speak some of the language.
Nice and hot as always.
Back in the US, Paul made a name for himself as an entrepreneur in the e-commerce space. But the rat race and the American obsession with money and status left him disillusioned and unhappy. He craved a simpler, slower, and cheaper life.
If you had to choose, you know, one Thai dish that you would have to eat every day, what would it be?
Oh, definitely pad kapao. It's basically rice with minced meat.
Do you
I eat that like almost every day. It's just like $1.
like it spicy?
Of course. I love it spicy.
How do you find like your life in Thailand? Is it so different from your life back home in the States?
Here in Thailand, I just feel like the life here is a lot better. It's more slow paced, more... In Thailand, they say like sabai sabai, you know, it's a lot more chill.
It's just such a relief to live in a country where almost everybody's intentions are good.
I left the environment of America, the individualism, the hustle culture, the grind culture, the nonstop pursuit of consumerism or keeping up with the Joneses.
How did that affect dating in the States for you?
It's a lot more transactional, I think. It's all about what you can essentially provide, looking good, having good status. A lot of these kind of superficial things, I think.
Tell me about dating in Thailand. How is it different from dating in the US?
Women in the West are generally a bit more masculinized, a bit more individualistic. Here in Thailand, women here are raised by their parents to be the home caretaker, to really take care of their man. And I think a lot of women here are more naturally feminine, more nurturing, more playful, very receptive and trusting of their man to take the lead. I think dating in Thailand as a man, there's a lot more options simply because there's more women here than men. Like the first day I came here, 1 hour of swiping, I already had like 100 matches. And that never happens in the United States.
That is a common belief shared by Passportbros that Thai or Asian women in general are more feminine and family-oriented than their Western counterparts. The Passportbro trend blew up on TikTok in 2022. Since then, this hashtag amassed over 470 million views on this platform.
470 million views on TikTok alone. That's not even to mention the other platforms like YouTube, Facebook, the Facebook groups. Like I said before, guys, this is a world phenomenon that we haven't seen in the last decade. Okay.
And although Paul didn't move to Thailand with the intention of becoming a passport bro, he has fully embraced this identity. On his YouTube channel, he shares tips for other men and digital nomads alike who are interested in following his path. He covers everything from visas and dating to making money as a remote worker. A lower cost of living and relaxing vibes have made Thailand an attractive destination for many passport bros. But there are also worries that the movement can become exploitative. Many critics have claimed that these men are reinforcing the power imbalance between Western men and women in developing nations.
All right, before we get to that part, I just wanted to just show you that she's doing a very balanced piece, and I have to respect that. She's going to mention the controversy. We all know we got some bullshit ass controversy coming from Western media outlets, but for the most part, she's being very balanced about it.
Passport bros have been criticized as misogynistic. What are your thoughts on this?
First off, I think it's actually very racist for a lot of particularly Westerners to just criticize an entire generation of women here, as in they're not able to make the decision themselves, as in some sort of powerful, rich Western man is going to take control and dominate them into having a relationship with them.
And when asked if he finds local women submissive,
I'd say a bit submissive, yeah. Not in the sense that they're lower or like they're less worthy. It's the fact that they trust the man's leadership. In Asia, if a woman loves her man and trusts her man, she will submit to his decision.
Paul believes that there's nothing wrong with having a more conservative view of gender roles, and he's now in a happy relationship. This is Ton Nao, Paul's Thai girlfriend of 2.5 years. According to him, she is the best woman he has ever met.
Damn, the best woman that he has ever met. I will say this. Thai women are very feminine. A lot of these women throughout really Southeast Asia are very feminine. And once you experience a feminine woman, it's not even all about submitting and all that. I'm just saying it's just in general. It'll be impossible, literally impossible to go back to modernized Western dating. I don't think you could do it. I honestly don't think you could do it. Just the energy that they have is just so different, right? I was telling the girl that I've been talking to for the last few months. I was just saying, she was asking me what I was doing. I was like, hey, I'm just washing some clothes. And she was like, you're washing clothes? I'm like, yeah. She was like, wow. Like that's not even expected of a guy to even do anything like that, but in their eyes, it's just like, oh, clean. That's great, because, they're looking at it like, oh, that's kind of what we do. So it's definitely a better experience overall in general, in my opinion.
She's always trusts me. She's like, you know, you can do this. Sometimes that's just all you need.
I had fun hanging out with Paul. It's interesting to hear from a passport bro what drew him to this lifestyle. And here's my question to you guys. Have you met a passport bro? And what do you think about this movement? Let me know in the comments below.
Okay, now you guys see, for the most part, all the little stories and clips out here from, you know, I would say English-speaking Asia, and even some of them in their own languages. It's been pretty much a positive spin about the passport for the most part. All right? It's been pretty much a positive spin. Let me catch some of these comments real quick. That's the end of the video. If you guys want to see the full video without interruption, the link, I'm going to go ahead and post the link right here in the comment section. And they also did a whole, I think it was almost like an hour-long piece on the Passport Bros. The same YouTube channel did a whole hour-long on the Passport Bros as well. All right. All right, we got to see if we talk about teaching in here. All right. Change for the better says, I tell all my friends dedicated to get their passports and experience Thailand for themselves, but they don't believe me. Hey, man, I mean, sometimes that might be a good thing. Don't be waiting on your friends to travel, bro. I waited on my friends to travel. Once I left Brazil in 2017, you know, I went back and I did my 1-2 with the family and friends and talking about how dope it was, Brazil was, and I got to come. And out of probably at least 10 people, not one took it serious. You know, there people will always, you know, they'll set you up for delays too. They'll be like, yeah, I'm coming, man. I'm about to buy my ticket this next week. And, you know, I'm looking at Airbnbs now. If you depend on that, you will be waiting forever, fam. Trust me. Sometimes it's good to travel solo too, man. You will meet people. You'll meet new people. You'll get outside your social circle. You'll meet all types of characters overseas, people overseas, man. That might be a good thing for you too. Aries Ram said 18 says, I'm very happy for him. A watered down spokesperson. What do you mean by that, brother? I don't know what you mean by that. Some dudes shouldn't be looking for a wife. Some dudes shouldn't be looking for a wife off the RIP overseas will end badly. You know what? It really depends on who you decide to choose to be a wife. You know? My thing is, if you get suckered out here, of all places, that's kind of on you, man. It's like they don't play nowhere near their level of deception and games is nowhere near the level in the States, especially if you have resources, in my opinion. The women in the States are playing chess straight up, especially if you have resources. Okay. They will sit there and be around for a few years. I'm not saying all, but man, I'm telling you, they be getting guys good, bro. They be getting guys good. I would never, ever get married in America, bro. Not happening. Not happening. Like I said, I had a friend of mine who was dealing with this chick out there in Medellin, Colombia. They got this group, I think it's like Black Women Travels. They kind of bit off the Black Men Travels thing. They got this group, and he got one of the women pregnant, right? He was living in Colombia. He was doing his expat thing, like a digital nomad. Got a woman pregnant in Colombia. She went back to the States, had the child, and threw his ass on child support. So, hey, be careful with that. All right, be careful with that. Okay, I hear you, Gil Prince. I hear you. I think. All right. T Mac says, if you focus on finances first, then everything else will fall into place. My life in Colombia was an easy transition because I had the monetary worries and was financially secure. Yeah, we speak about that all the time, man. We speak about it all the time. That's why it was important for us to build an app with monetization features. Okay, you know, having a YouTube, being a content creator is cool. And keep in mind, like I said, for my younger generation, I understand that, you know, creating content, being YouTubers, being TikTok guys, it's pretty good income for the most part. Supplemental income. I still say to my young cats, hey man, get some type of skill, get some type of training, even if it's just a CDL or something that you can fall back on just in case the social media slows down for you, you know. But, you know, all in all, getting your money right is very important. Like I said, that's why it was an important thing. One of the main things that we did in the app was we made guys everything monetize, be able to be monetized as far as posts, videos, guys can make money. Right. But yeah, that part of it is very important. And for the most part, most passport bros I know kind of have their stuff together. Despite what you might see and see the little jankiness of people labeling irresponsible guys, passport bros with clicks and views, like this dude LLTV. He always try to put jankiness on guys. Anything that a guy does that's janky, he'll label them as a passport bro so he can get clicks and views. But we all know the true passport bros. A lot of guys that are ex-military guys, IT guys, big content creator guys, different guys that pretty much been overseas for a while. All right. But now, I don't know, man. Now that Trump is in office, I know it was a lot of jobs that guys were doing like online. It might be some changes. I'm not saying anything to get into politics here, but I'm saying in general, there might be some changes to the digital nomad thing. I know a lot of people are trying to look for online jobs. All right. Let me go ahead and drop a link real quick. Let me see if we can drop a link. Let me see your guys' thoughts. If you guys want to pull up, you're welcome to pull up. Xanatos Clutch says, if a dude is a beta in America, they have no business bringing a wife back from overseas, nor looking for a wife immediately. Every man needs his day in the sun so they can deal with women better. I don't understand what you're kind of saying with that. What's the definition of a beta in America? Let me know. And I hear it all the time. If you do this in the States, you do this overseas, that's not necessarily true. Women in some of these countries are not looking for the exact same thing that women in the West are looking for. I think in general, man, God, just handle your business, be a man, be responsible, give back to the communities that you go to. Don't worry about the beta alpha bullshit, 6 foot, 6'5". Don't even worry about that overseas, bro. Don't worry about that. All right, let me bring my man, Flight Madness, in the building. We got Xanatos. Okay, we got Xanatos. We got a few guys coming in the room. What up, Xanatos?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. What up, Flight Madness?
Hey,
Yo.
guys.
What's good?
Can someone hear me? I think I hear Xanatos.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yo, what's up, dude? Yeah.
Xanatos, explain to me what you meant by that comment.
All right, so for beta, I know a lot of guys use the term beta as a way to, mainly women or PUA guys use it as a way to describe guys who may not fit into the typical image of what women want. Now, I got to preface this with saying I am not using the term beta as a way to diss bros. I'm not doing that. So I'm saying this from an objective standpoint. If you, maybe I shouldn't use beta, but I was trying to simplify it and saying if you as a man, we're not getting a lot of women overseas. And it's not for me to shame anyone, and this is not for anyone to answer. And everybody who knows what their success is with women knows it, and they keep it to themselves. But if you're one of these guys who weren't getting a lot in the States, then you need to get your time overseas to have your day in the sun. As in, you need to find a place where you're considered a man or a worthy enough man to actually have a good, successful social life, especially with women, before you should be able to, or before you should seek a wife or consider bringing her back overseas. Because a lot of guys.
I'm still a little lost here. What are you? You're saying that you need to kind of find yourself before you go overseas and bring a wife back?
Not before. Well, maybe before, but like, say for instance, you got one guy who didn't get a lot when he was. Oh, you know what? I'll use myself as an example. There's a difference between, let me put like everyone else.
I didn't mean to mute you.
Nah, you're cool. You could do. Like, let me do this. So, all right, it may not switch, but yeah. So, for instance, there we go. So, for instance, like, if you, bear my office here.
Yeah, it's good.
All right. So if you were not doing well in the community, say for instance in my case, if I
Community.
yeah, let's be real. So like with my cadence, with my talk, I wouldn't do well in the community side because I wasn't the guy that was willing to play like I was a hard ass thug or whatever. Like it wouldn't behoove me to live all those years without not much attention from the strags or from the sister girls or whatever. And then in my
Mhm.
30s, wipe up one of those sister girls who, if they were in their prime, wouldn't have seen me as crap. So, so expanding that to a Passport Bro example, if
Mhm.
you as a guy didn't get much in the States, regardless of whatever reason, I'm not justifying it, I'm not saying those women were right. But
Mhm.
if you were one of these guys who weren't getting much, you going overseas is going to leave you so sprung when you get your first piece that you're going to be susceptible to carrying anything and everything with you to marry, to date, whatever. And that includes bringing them back stateside compared to a guy who had success, whether it was in States or whether it was overseas. Once you get that clarity to realize like women aren't everything in life, then you can have a better mindset on one, who to choose as a spouse, and two, if you should bring them back stateside at all. So that's what I say. When I say beta, I don't mean it as an insulting term. I'm just saying it as someone who's more inexperienced when it comes to women or when it comes to success with women.
Okay, but I don't think most guys are even trying to bring their women back to the States.
Well, you'd be surprised because every other, and I'm not saying it's just Passport Bros, but it seems like every other guy here, it's like, oh, I brought my girl back overseas, and it either ends up good or bad, but it's usually the point where I'm hearing like 50% of the dudes who get married, they find some sort of way, or it just happens that their girl comes back from stateside. So you gotta take that into consideration.
Okay, okay. Passport Blueprint, what's good with you, bro? You there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah. Um, this whole thing with beta and alpha, we got to stop doing that, because it's kind of degrading. A man's a man. Um, that's just my viewpoint on that. I've seen betas when they get pushed, they can turn ultra alpha real quick, and we can go back to Columbine. We can look at the whole situation there. Okay. But I don't want to go through that situation. Um, I think pretty much, as far as going overseas and, going to Thailand, which I'm planning a trip to Thailand in the summer, hopefully. I think, the guy that went out there, he got his girlfriend, he did a good job, and, hopefully he had a good life and stuff. But I think guys can be successful anywhere if they put their mind to it. I mean,
I mean,
I don't see.
what truly is a beta coming from the black community anyway? So I think the lines are kind of blurred.
It
You
is.
know,
It's very blurry.
I think alphas and betas in other communities is kind of like, okay, the guy that makes all big decisions, the money guy, the guy, you kind of know who are considered to be alphas, the leaders of the industry.
They're
But I
not
think
even alphas, bro. I mean, the thing about it is this.
but one second, but like in our community, like the whole beta alpha thing is all just mixed up and confused.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the street thug is that's getting locked up in and out of prison. He's not the alpha. He's just
Yeah,
what
exactly.
which women think are, they just be confused, man. It's
Oh,
all over the place.
absolutely, I absolutely agree with that. And trust me, like you remember my old times here on YouTube. I used to get into that argument all the time with a lot of guys. Like I'll use myself as an example. Like for instance, in the community where I'm from, like I would have been considered a beta, or I still am to some degree. But when I left the community or when I was in more mixed environments, I don't want to say white, but mixed environments or non-hood environments, I was
Mhm.
way more alpha. So I'm with you when it comes to the sentiment of the word alpha, beta, etc. Like I don't agree to use that as a term to demean and insult men, mainly because it has been used by a lot of our adversaries, or just a lot of people who are against our freedom, as a way to pigeonhole us and really to set us against each other. So,
Tetra.
Yeah, because if you look at the term, I mean,
The hell is a tetra?
that is something interesting I'm gonna look up. But I mean, you're gonna call someone who's a cop a beta, but yet he knows all these skill sets and stuff that I mean, you know what I'm getting at with this, right? Or what about a guy in the army? You know, you're gonna call him beta and all the stuff that the US government trained him? I mean, but versus a street thug who ain't got nothing in his life. He's just doing criminal stuff, but he's an alpha. But yet and still, he barks like, if you actually listen to the way these guys bark, they sound exactly like a woman. They do.
Yeah. A lot of guys are, over emotional.
Yeah, they're over emotional.
I hate when I see like them brothers that get put over by the cops, just start panicking and going crazy and shit. I'm like, bro, just you know what I'm saying? Look at me in the eye and just say what it is. Like don't make it worse than what it is half the time by being overly emotional. But let me catch the super chat. My man Love Crossing Borders live with this Colombian pesos, man. Appreciate that. Shout out to you. He's always putting in work. Guys, make sure to check out his channel. He says, I'm not bringing her back. I've been gone for so long that ICE is looking for me. LOL. Shout out my man Andre Love Crossing Borders.
Yeah.
What up, Flight Madness? What's good? What's good, my man? Oh, hold on. I think you got it.
Yo. We keep pressing the same button. Okay, yeah. So like back to the conversation about like alpha and beta, especially for us Black people. I think it's important for us to realize that a lot of the stuff, like the behavior that's considered alpha with Black people, that kind of behavior will it could ruin your life in pretty much every other community. Like the stuff that we think is cool, or that not we, but a large percentage of us think is cool. That type of behavior would generally be considered loser behavior by many other races. So yeah, there are some like for example in Asia, like the guys, they're kind of feminine looking, but you can still be like a really feminine looking soft guy and still be considered like an alpha or like a male because he takes care of his family. Like that's the most important thing there. These guys who think like you got to be alpha, you got to have like some gigantic beard, you got to have like gigantic biceps and shoulders to be an alpha, like some kind of what's that dude like?
Face.
Yeah, like some kind of Andrew Tate ripoff to just be like a alpha. That's not true. Like that's like certain cultures. It just depends on, it just depends on the situation. So I don't think there's anything such as a universal alpha, like unless we're talking physically. Like maybe physically, yeah, like if you're like a really big strong guy, you might be considered alpha in a lot of cultures, but in terms of behavior, it changes depending on the culture.
Man, that's a good point. That's a good point. Let me catch the super chat real quick with my man Daryl. But super chat, man. Guys, also check out his channel. Daryl, do me a favor and post the link to your channel. He just did a dope vlog recently, so make sure a guy check his channel out. He says, I was lame in the States. That's the way to start off there. He says, I was lame in the States. I got married in Kazakhstan. Did I pronounce that right, Danny?
Kazakhstan, man. Kazakhstan.
I got married in Kazakhstan. We are never moving back. We travel multiple times a year to Thailand. I want all my bros to enjoy Thailand. Just use protection. I think that might have been a shot.
No protection, man. Nope. We don't need any protection in Thailand, man. We don't need that. We can just, we'll be all right.
Don't listen to that part. But shout out to you, Daryl. Shout out to you. You know what, man? I don't even know what's lame right now in America. I mean, come on, man. Like, lame means having your shit together and not being a street punk, basically. That's
exactly. And it's
like that to me, what they doing is lame. Listen, I was lucky enough and blessed enough to grow up on both sides of the fence, right? Mom, private school, suburbs, all that. Dad, Brown type character. You know what I'm saying? So I saw both sides, and I was always told by real street dudes that all that shit was corny and lame, all the bullshit that goes along with it. the jail time, the prison time, all that, and keep in mind now in this new generation that most of these kids are growing up in good neighborhoods. They're growing up in the suburbs, but because of rap music, they are portraying themselves to be something that they really not. And I saw that firsthand as well. A lot of my friends that I went to high school with, they try to be like, street dudes. I'd be like, bro, that shit ain't hitting on nothing. I'm telling you, that shit ain't hitting on nothing, bro. All they're gonna do is lock your black ass up. Some dude's gonna come around and sleep with your girlfriend. Like, it's all BS at the end of the day. And it leads, unfortunately, especially coming from the mass incarceration generation, unfortunately, a lot of brothers have made mistakes early on in their life trying to portray something that they're not, and end up in some cases ruining their lives, right? So don't pay no attention to that. What's lame and what's cool and what's corny, man. All that shit corny, in my opinion.
Yeah. You were fortunate enough to live in Atlanta, where there was, at least even up into the 2000s, there was a modicum of decency, to the point where if you were on your books, if you were studying, if you were trying to do something, if you're trying to be an HVAC or was it blue collar positions, doing military, you were not completely seen as a lame. Now, where I'm from, DC, and the so-called rich suburb, black suburbs of DC, see, here's the thing about it. You had extreme poverty where it was just complete gutterness. Like, you had to get down and do all that kind of stuff, not just to be seen as cool, but just to survive. But you had the working class and decent black suburbs nearby where they saw the mess over in DC itself. And they said, or a majority of people thought, that shit was cool, that shit was swag, that shit was the thing to do, to be in the streets, to mess around in the streets, mess around with dudes in the streets. And if you did not even try to emulate that street life, then you were basically seen as a failure. You were seen as a loser. So trust me, I'm the main one who is the biggest advocate of just forgetting about all these definitions of what alpha and beta is, especially in the community side, because a community alpha, trust me, that's not going to give you it. Look, just like BNT said, it's not going to get you anywhere fast.
It's funny, man, because I don't even think other communities have like the terminology of, like, even in their own language, what an alpha and a beta is. You're just a provider, you're just a man. It's like, I don't think there's no real rankings there. I'm pretty sure there's status symbols and stuff like that, but I don't think this alpha beta thing, it's just caught up in like
it's a way of
basically.
It's a way in our community to degrade guys that do the right thing, guys who have achieved success. That's all it is. We always tear each other down instead of just like, these guys are successful, we need to look up to these guys. We always look at, like, for example, the guys just go to college and get degrees and do all these great things, but yet they'll get mad when they married a white girl. Okay, because that white girl saw the investment opportunity in this dude. Now everybody's mad because little Susie hooked up with Dondre, and Dondre's in the NFL right now making X amount of millions of dollars, but she had the opportunity to get Dondre because back then she said Dondre was lame because Dondre was in college playing football, but little Susie snatched up Dondre, got the meat and the money.
Okay.
So taking, go ahead.
I mean, one thing on this point, guys, like, I hate when I see men in the comment section, like, trying to argue with women. It's like trying to logically convince women. Like, I think a lot of men, we probably learned this at a certain age, that, like, trying to argue with a woman and, like, trying to logically convince her that her relationship decisions don't make any sense. It's like, it's a waste of time. It's like, women don't really care about logic when it comes to, like, relationship stuff. So, like, these conversations are good for us men to have, so we know, like, not get caught up in the BS. But, like, trying to convince, like, if she wants to date a thug, like, if she decided, like, she's emotionally decided she wants that, you're not going to be able to logically convince her, like, hey, you're going to regret this 10 years later. It's like, she's not gonna listen to you. So just keep your conversations like that. I don't argue with women. Like I learned a long time ago, like arguing with a woman is just like, you're not gonna win in that situation. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
you're giving them the attention they want, and I noticed that like this is the whole thing on YouTube now. That's how some platforms get big. That Fresh and Fit, that was they look concept arguing with women. It's another one out. What's the other one called with all the words in the background? I've got the other one that's called. But they just get these panels and they get all these women and they just kind of go back and forth, and they don't understand. Like to the men that's watching, it makes sense. But for the women that's watching, you see what I'm saying? Like it makes sense on their side because they just tell women just talk how they feel at that moment. And that's what I've always said. I said, bro, I don't know why I get caught up in what women are saying all the time. Don't nothing they say concrete. They say they want a man 6'2", 6'3", making six figures. Look at their baby daddy, motherfucker 5'9" fella. So I'm like, bro, why y'all be so caught up in what they're saying at that moment, at that time when those feelings can change in an hour or two flat? So don't just get so rapid. I guess guys, you gotta grow up with sisters, and you know what I'm saying. You gotta have women in your family to kind of understand that. Okay, they're just speaking out of side of their neck right now at this moment. We just kind of. So then you'll figure out like, okay, she don't really mean that. You know what I'm saying? So I take it all. I take everything they say with a grain of salt. Personally, now when a man says something, I'm a little bit more like, because when a man says something, there's always a threat of physical violence. So because of that, we tend to think about what we say. You feel me? Now, if I just say something off the wall to Danny one day, I say some crazy shit, then he's gonna be like, "Oh shit, man, let's knuckle up." You know what I'm saying? So that's why, just in general, we just be like, "All right, let me just think before." And that's how we're brought up for the most part. We know that what comes out of our mouth might end up, meaning something in a physical altercation, or be a consequence to what we say. There's no consequences to what they're saying, bro. So they say anything. They literally say anything. And the problem I have, because I was in a co-ed group, this co-ed group called Black in Thailand, and I just saw the simpery in it. And it bothered me so much because I'm sitting here like, do you know that women don't respect that shit? They don't respect the apologetic nigga. You know what I mean? Trying to always lie to them and just manipulate them and shit. They read right through that shit. So just be real. Just stand on what you're saying. And if she go with you, she go with you. She not. There's plenty of other women out there.
Absolutely. I mean, are there good modern women in the United States? Absolutely. But there's also good women all over the world. And I think right now with us fellas, we're just exploring options to see what's out there other than what's in the United States, because we're just tired of the rhetoric and the BS and all this other stuff. We're just opening up we're just utilizing the passports to see what's out there. And if it's better, what we get out there, then we're just going to get what's better out there, plain and simple. Because a lot of us ain't got time to be like picking through weeds to find that little that beautiful dandelion that we're searching for. Life is too short, man. We're gonna find the one that's out there, that's treating us right, and we're just gonna snatch that person up. If you can't get your act together, too bad, so sad. You just missed out on an opportunity. That's why now you're seeing sisters now chasing us overseas.
They got a whole soft girl area going on right now, but we ain't being fooled by it. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
White Madness, you said something a few minutes ago about you unwilling to argue to women. And I got a shout out to my friends, my colleagues in the Black Manosphere. And a lot of people, especially with the past week, have been discussing, oh, Kevin Samuels didn't help anyone. That's why the Black Manosphere thought, no, the reason why the Black Manosphere thought, one of the reasons is because they kept arguing with strags and daggers. And you know what that shows when you keep arguing with the same women you complain about? That you have no options. You have no options to go overseas. You have no options to go SYSBM, date outside the race. Hell, you aren't even willing to do the option of just focusing on yourself, going monk mode, whatever you want to call it, doing your purpose, whatever you want to call it. And that's one of the main weak things that is tearing us down as men, especially black men, is that we are willing to beg, plead, or whatever you want to call it, shame, blame, and explain, whatever you want to call it, to these women, which leads me to the point of what I was making with the alpha beta argument. So instead of using the word beta, let me use this example. All those years that you kept hearing that you were a lane or you were a beta or you weren't this because you refused to be in the streets or even act like you played in the streets. That does something to the average male psyche, especially his confidence. Sending a guy like that overseas, would you all of you really feel confident that he would be able to pick the best women for him immediately, or would would you rather give him some time to feel what it's like to actually be selected and be seen as good enough so that he can get his mental right to the point where he can realize what kind of women are right for him?
So are you basically saying that, like, for my younger guys that haven't been in like long-term relationships and everything, they need to find their footing pretty much in the States? That way they can make a better decision on who they choose overseas?
Not necessarily. I'm saying for guys who were beaten down by society, especially if they were in a black society, that they were told that they weren't shit because they wanted to be something in life. I'm telling these guys to let them go overseas, or hell, let them go to a place that isn't the hood. Let them find or experience what it's like to actually be a guy who's actually liked by women. Let him have his day in the sun, as in let him, actually have a dating life, actually let him have a girlfriend or rotation, whatever he wants, to realize what it's like to be chosen before he goes into serious relationships or marriage, let alone bringing a woman back overseas. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Let me read the super chat by my man Flight Madness with the top bot, 200 top bot, man. Appreciate you once again, my brother. There's an old concept from the pickup artist that goes, change her mood, not her mind. That's relevant to this conversation because a woman's mood has a lot of influence over here. Yeah, man. I think we had some conversations about that.
Yeah. One more thing, guys. We're talking about this conversation. It's very unfortunate that like that kind of fresh and fit thing of like arguing with Western women that gets a lot more views than like, okay, that's the problem. It's probably not gonna get fixed. That kind of stuff gets way more views than us like teaching guys how to get overseas and like, how to not have to deal with it, right? It's like I kind of dislike these content channels where like all they do is show clips of like American women and like it's kind of rage baiting, right? It's like they just want to, here's another clip of an American woman saying something crazy. And it's wild to me that people will subscribe to those channels and they watch those videos every day. Like, yeah, American women terrible. They just watch it every single day, but they don't spend any
Are they
time.
watching for the eye candy? They might just be watching for the eye candy.
I think those women don't look attractive in the video. I look like a lot of these channels, it's just like here's clips of American women saying stupid stuff for 20 minutes, and guys will watch the whole video. Like who's that one guy? There was one dude in Brazil. He was making that kind of content. I don't want to put anybody under the
I said I'm not sure in Brazil.
But basically, like, I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but it's just like I know some people, they have to like make a living from this content, but like I can't imagine like being subscribed to those kind of channels and watching those kind of videos every day. That just gets a lot of views, unfortunately. Like rage baiting gets a lot of views, and it gets more views than like us trying to help people. Like, hey, here's a job you can get to go overseas and work remotely so you can date foreign women. Like that kind of content doesn't get as much views as if I just make a video like talking trash about like whatever kind of American woman said something crazy, right?
Yeah, I think fresh and fit and that whole concept, it's like it speaks to the voice of rage from a lot of guys who are upset. And it's funny to me that when I was talking about the past, as a matter of fact, one of my first videos that when I titled Passportbros in the title was coming at fresh and fit. And they was dissing Passport Bros and calling us losers and all this shit. And then lo and behold, maybe like a few months later, they had, I think his name is Casey Anderson as a Passport Bro on their same panel. talking about Colombian women and how they are and everything. So it's just funny to me, man. Like people are flip flop just to follow the trend at the moment. Let me get a super chat by my man Darren with super chat says, for my bros who want to feel chosen, go to Kazakhstan or Zambia. I don't know about Kazakhstan. Maybe Zambia, but Danny got me scared to go there.
Hey, Kazakhstan is good, bro, man. Kazakhstan, man. And hey, BMT, how come you didn't mention like the Kazakh girl that you almost, got some with in Thailand? How come you haven't been talking about that, man?
Oh,
I mean, yeah, she's cool. She's cool, but she's here though. I'm not going over there. She's here.
Yeah, you can meet a lot of man. Thailand's pretty international, y'all. It's like a hub. Like all the Asians come
It
here,
really is.
Japanese, Chinese. It's like you can get you some Kazakh girls, but you got to find out where they hang out. I think they probably have like a specific area, probably in Bangkok, where they hang out. You just got to like kind of infiltrate, get in there and like maybe practice your Russian a little bit, man. But Kazakhstan is good, y'all. Kazakhstan, especially during the day. Danny got beat up. I got stomped out in the Kazakhstan club. Y'all laughing at me.
Almost got beat
up. Almost.
Yeah. And Kazakh girls are good, man. I like them.
Yeah, but Thailand definitely has it. The thing about Thailand, man, I think a lot of cats would come out here. It's just the distance, the time difference. If most guys maybe have a week max on a vacation. So if it takes 2 days to fly out here from the States. So you're losing 2 days in flight. Well, actually 4 days, because it's going to take you 2 days to get here and 2 days to fly back. So if you don't have, I tell guys all the time, I say, man, if you don't got at least 2 to 3 weeks, just go to Colombia or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Go to DR or something where you can have more time on the ground than being in the air.
True.
That's my opinion. He said, let's be honest, there's a red pill aspect of this space, man. We done with all the pills and shit. We just got our passports. We're not doing
all right.
Speaking
of this red pill stuff, red pill, blue pill, look, like once you go overseas, the pills don't matter, at least nearly not as much.
Facts.
Yeah, it's all about just enjoying yourself at that point. We're not ragging about anything. You're just enjoying life, worried about making money to survive, or you already got a job doing your thing. That's it.
Yeah, man. That's why so many people come at the Passport Bros negatively. We got all types of little content creators, talking ish about guys, being Passport Bros. It is what it is. Obviously, we win it if we're on everybody's mind. Like I said, I haven't seen any hashtag trends on TikTok be as big as 470 million. Let me know if you found any. All right? Let me know. That means people are either responding, hate watching, or picking up on the ideology of it being Passport Bros.
It's crabs in a barrel. That's basically what it is. It's, once you, like I said, success, just like in our Black community, once you're successful, everybody's trying to pull you down, back down to that level. Same thing with the Passport Bros. We found our happiness. It's overseas. And now people are just trying to pull you back into this society because they can't leave for some reason, whether it be financially or they're just scared to just make that jump to go outside the United States. They just want to pull you back.
Man, stop the cap. All right. Dudes in this space do dog American women. Not necessarily. We're just speaking our truth, bro. Nobody's dogging American women here. And we always, at least me, I always give it a balance. I say, hey, man, there are some good women in the States. I always say that. We just saying in general, a lot of guys are fed up and done with dating in the West.
Yo, and the only time I ever really talk about American women is because I had that experience of like me posting a picture with my Chinese girlfriend and like the Black travel groups. And I just had hundreds of American women, like Black women, just in my comment section talking trash, throwing salt. That's like the only time I ever started talking about like American women, Western women, just because I got attacked by them kind of randomly. But just in general, like making that kind of rage bait hate content is not really what I'm interested in. Like pretty much the only people I like to troll like the plantation bros who like try to like, hold back the Passport Bros. I like to troll those guys. But I don't really care that much about doing content about Western women. Unless I meet some, like I meet a few when I'm traveling, and I put them on videos, but I don't talk trash really.
And for the
All
most
right,
part,
let me
they be
address.
cool.
Yeah, let me address something that the commenter. You don't have to show his comment again, but us going at American women. For starters, me myself personally, I'm the one who says wall of indifference, not wall of silence to get them to pay attention to. Wall of indifference, meaning you ignore them and whatever you do to ignore them, you do it. Going overseas included. Second of all, Western women when they go overseas, for the most part, they are cool if only because they're humbled by the competition that they have to face while overseas. So a lot of us guys who travel, who go overseas and run into the occasional American woman or woman from Canada, UK, they're usually, not always, but usually they're on better behavior, not their best behavior, but better behavior than they are at home because they know that they have to have some sort of femininity or cooperation in order to compete and just have a dating life, especially since a lot of men are not checking out Western women. And third, when it comes to guys going after women, at best, you're talking about the comment section. You're talking about guys in the comment sections who are watching us vicariously, wishing that they can go overseas. And there are some guys who in the comment section who, yeah, they can go be passport bros or digital nomads. And yes, because of whatever situation. And fourth, you're saying BMT, every single sister that comes to Thailand, he's trying to help her out. Man, we got to help a sister out, man. Come on, man. Come on. So let's end that talk about us having passport bros being like the gender war 2.0 or 5.7 here.
Yeah, we over the gender war. We done. We was the solution to the gender war. We was the solution to the gender war.
And note note that when Kevin Samuels died, RIP to him, that was the last hope that the gender war had when it came to men and women, sisters and brothers coming together, whatever. After that, notice how the passport bros rose. And that wasn't because it was just another iteration of the gender war. That was an ultimatum seeing how sisters especially treated that man not only in life, but in death. A lot of these guys who saw that and believed in black love, like BNC here, you believe in that BET uncut picket fence. He was like, well, he was already overseas by then, but a lot of these guys who believe in that fantasy, they saw how Kevin Samuels was treating a man who's trying to get black men and women together for one reason or another. And when that failed, they were like, I'm done. I'm out. I'm getting my passport. Yeah.
Good point. Shout out to my man Down with the 5 super chat. Says, me and my wife watched the new Captain America movie in Lusaka, Zambia for less than the super chat. Get your passport. I saw the Captain America movie too. I wasn't really. It was cool. It was alright. It was alright. I thought it could have been a little bit, a little bit more. What y'all thought about the Captain? If y'all saw it, what y'all think about the Captain? It was
hey y'all. Hey, BMD, man, I gotta head out, man. I got a consultation I gotta do, man. I got an English teaching consultation, man. I gotta head out, man. But it's been great being on this panel, man. Let's do more live streams. We gotta get back to our normal routine, BMT. We used to do them live streams multiple times a week, man. What are you doing, man?
Them live streams no more, man. Y'all tune into the podcast though.
Oh, podcast. Okay, I got it. All right, man.
All right, man.
I'm about to head out, man. See y'all.
All right. Peace out.
All right. Somebody said it was crap. It was all right to me. I mean, I thought it could have been a little bit better, personally. Well, guys, it's been a great show. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I do think, in my personal opinion, Thailand is a good play. If it fits for you. All right. If it fits for you, I think it's a good play. It is far. There's a big time difference. But Thailand definitely belongs in anyone's top 5 opinion. All right, family. We out. Peace.
Peace.
All right, later.